What's up, guys? It's your homeboy IzzyDGamer here once again, bringing you the first full-fledged digital art piece. We're going to be getting to an emoji of sorts. Let's get started. Alright, and so today we'll be getting into that down with the sickness emote, and I'll be making it my own, and I'll show you exactly how I'm going to do that. Let's continue. So the first thing I'm going to do is basically trace. Yeah, I know everybody has their own preconceived notions and beliefs about tracing and whatnot in art, but I feel like, especially when you're starting out, tracing is the perfect way to get a handle on things. Now, like I said, this is only my second digital art piece. The other one was left unfinished because I realized I did not have the necessary skills to complete it. So right now it's complete training for me, you know what I mean? So I figure I'll start with some tracing, and we'll see how that grows throughout this art journey. Alright, and now since I got the circle complete, it's time to start sketching out the eyes and the mask. Once we're done with this, we'll move on to the clean line art and things like that, and then we'll go on to coloring. right, and now that we're done with the sketch, it's time to move on to the line art. Also, I know you realize that I'm talking at the bottom left corner saying completely different things than what you're hearing right now, but that's because I'm copywritten and I have to mute all the audio from my streams, but you can always feel free to catch the streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, and that'll be 3 p.m. on Mondays and 12 p.m. on Wednesdays and Fridays. I'm sorry if I said Thursdays earlier. I always say Thursdays, but it's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Feel free to check me out at twitch.tv/IzzyDGamer anytime you want to see some art. Alright, so right here I'm experimenting with different mouths that I might be able to use later or different things. Always feel free to experiment with your art. Please don't limit yourself to one thing. If you come up with an idea midway through, go for it. You can always backtrack, Command Z, anything like that. And I feel like that's the beauty of digital art, is like it's just so easy to experiment with anytime you want to. Alright, and as you can see, I'm adding different colors. I've already colored the face. We've got a nice African-American individual. It looks a lot like me. You know what I mean? And now we're coloring the mask a different color than what we saw, which is going to change the art just a little bit. So we're going to color it purple. And yeah, let's see what other changes we make throughout this to make it different, to make it unique. Now, as you can see, the eyes are just a little bit open, or at least it seems like it with the black coloring, which was definitely on purpose. And we'll see, we'll actually get back to this a little bit later. So yeah, just stay tuned, just stay tuned. Shading is important, but as you can see, I don't exactly know what I'm doing. I should have probably saved the shading for last, now that I'm looking at it in retrospect. But you know, that's okay. It's always okay to do things differently, especially when you're first starting out. If you don't know, I feel like the best thing you can do is jump in, experiment, and come up with your own way of doing things. If things seem a little too intimidating from videos you're watching all over the place and things like that, definitely just jump in and go on your own terms, you know what I mean? And then once you get a feel for how things are working out, once you get a feel for exactly how the software that you're using is working, then you can take other people's advice and you might understand it just a little better with that little bit of experience you had jumping in there on your own. Today we're doing arts. I had to set some things up. I'm working on a shout out command in case some people with Twitch channels pop up. And now it's time for the hair, which is something that I have absolutely no experience in. It's completely different, and I felt completely foreign to what was going on here as normal traditional art, line, paper art, paper and pencil, all that good crap. Like, you just draw the hair, but in this, it matters what colors you mix together, things like that. Things like lighting actually matter in things. And during this piece specifically, I had no idea what I was doing. But like I just mentioned earlier, I just jumped in there and said, let's freaking do it, guys. And just like I mentioned before, just I'm back to the eyes finally, and I'm gonna go ahead and put those pupils in there, but I want him to seem sick, so I'm trying to decide actually while I'm swapping between hair and eyes exactly how I make this man look sick, maybe like he's got a cough or something like that. And yeah, I do like the end product, but given the information that I have now, there's a few ways that I could make the eyes that I came up with look a little more pronounced. But like I said, beginners, guys, beginners. It's okay to be a beginner. Let's get it, man. Little blush on the nose, and I decided to change the brush I was using to more of a pastel kind of chalk paint, kind of chalk look, just so that it looks a little different from the rest of the art, and that just seems a little more pronounced. That sickness, that cold that this man is dealing with just seems a little more pronounced. I don't know exactly what I was going for, but I do like the look, so I decided to keep it. And then I decided, as you can see, to paint over that watercolor, make everything look a little more solid, a little more gelled, a little more like complete, like it all goes together. And then, of course, the last thing that we need to do is shade. Right here, I decided I was trying to figure out the eyes that I wanted to go with. Like I said, I'd be right back to that. And I finally came up with one, but let's just say it was not these circles that I'm trying for. But it's always good to experiment with different crap, especially when you don't know exactly what you want the end result to be. The shading, so putting in those last finishing touches, you always want to put in that mixer tool or whatever, that blend tool. I always forget the name of it, but that always works for shading. Anytime you make lines a little too dark or anything like that, you can put the blend tool to it to make things just seem like they go together, like they're meshing, like they're on the skin. Like, I don't know, it just gives you that look that you're looking for. That's the best explanation I have for it. guys, once again, thank you for coming through. This has been your man's Izzy D Artist, and until next time, guys, happy arting, and I hope your journey is fun and entertaining.